Hi and welcome to Mark's Motivational Podcast for this Authors Tuesday. So today I'm delighted to be joined by another guest, Dorothy Rusterisk. Is that correct?
Riskowitz.
Riskowitz. Sorry, I'm sorry
Yes,
about that.
that's all right.
Yeah. So you're very welcome along the podcast tonight, Dorothy. I really appreciate you coming on.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So would you mind just if we could start off the podcast, you might just tell the listeners a little bit about yourself and your books as well, please.
I'm a mother to two grown daughters and two grandchildren,
Yeah.
and a little dog and a little cockatiel. I started writing when I was 10 years old,
Yeah.
and I've been writing ever since. I first got published in 2020, January, and I'm doing really well with them. My children's books is the Itty Bitty Cat Club series, and
Yeah.
I wrote it for my granddaughter, Emma, who loves everything about cats.
Great. Brilliant. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And I hope that, and how many books have you written yourself, Dorothy? How many books have you done?
17.
Wow, that's great, isn't it? Well done.
In 2 years.
Well, that's great. And have you always been a writer yourself? Have you always written, Dorothy?
Yes, since I was 10.
Since you were 10. Great. Wow. Yeah. And yeah, it's great. Like, well done to you. Have you self-published them yourself, or have you got a publisher?
Yes, we self-published, and
Okay.
they do very well. I sell every month.
Brilliant. That's great. That's great. And I hope we can get you some Irish readers as well. Get some people from Ireland to buy your books now, because I'm gonna, if you want to, you can send me the links and I can put them on the show notes for people to buy them. Where can people buy your books, Dorothy?
Amazon, they're available on Kindle and paperback, and
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble, they're available on Nook and paperback.
Brilliant. That's great. And yeah, that's great. And what's the name of your books again? What's the name?
The children's books is the Itty Bitty Cat Club series.
That's
The
great.
first one is the Itty Bitty Cat Club and the Mice of Antar. The second one is the Itty Bitty Cat Club to the Rescue. And the one that I'm working on now is the Itty Bitty Cat Club and the Mystery of Tabby and Tisha.
Great.
So there's gonna be 6 in the series.
So I'd say your granddaughter is delighted with that. your
Oh
granddaughter's
yes.
Yeah.
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 She's 12
Yeah.
and she wears cat clothes, cat ears. She thinks she's a cat. And so I just had to write them for her.
That is great. It's brilliant the way the inspiration comes from that, isn't it? It's brilliant, because I've got a daughter who's 12 as well. And like, you know, it's great I made up stories for my kids through the years, so I put them in a book as well. So it's great for them your memory to live on in your books. It's great for them to have them forever, like what you've wrote for them, isn't it?
Oh, congratulations on your writing. Yes, it is. I basically do my writing as my legacy to my children and my grandchildren.
Oh wow, that's great, isn't it? Brilliant. Yeah, that's really, really good. And can I ask you as well, what kind of keeps you motivated in your writing as well, Dorothy?
Oh, lots of things. I listen to music, pictures, dreams sometimes. Sometimes I dress as a character to get into their mindset to see how they might think. Because sometimes my characters do what they want, whether I want them to or not. And it sounds funny since I'm the writer, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
they just do what they want sometimes.
Great, yeah. Because like once you kind of create a character, they kind of take a form. It's great, isn't it? The way when you get so creative like that. I can understand what you're saying. It's brilliant to get involved. It's like when you're doing a film. It'd be the same, you know, you're really getting involved with that character. So that's great. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us, Dorothy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And my daughter that I live with that's disabled, she is my editor and my collaborator. Her name is Angie.
Great. Yeah, and do you have like pictures for your books as well? Do you have
oh yes, I do. Oh
yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, great stuff. Like, yeah, because it's great, especially for children's books. It's important to have pictures there as well, isn't it? It's nice to have pictures.
Yes, the Itty Bitty Cat Club series doesn't, but because I've got to look in to see what I have to do with an illustrator, and my friend does that, so she's going to help me through that.
That's great, Dorothy. Yeah. So I'm going to share Dorothy's work on the show notes, so everybody's listening, be nice just to check them out, and as I say, like get your hands on them, it'd be great. And yeah, that's great, Dorothy. Thanks very much. And as well as that, how have you found COVID through your writing for the last 2 years? Have you found it difficult, or has it been okay for your writing?
It's been okay for my writing because I do write and stay busy. I found that staying in hasn't bothered me.
Okay,
I have been out, sometimes when I went out and performed with my friend, because we do that like every 2 weeks.
great.
And I have to get out sometimes, otherwise I'd probably get cabin fever.
Yeah, definitely. Like the rest of us, yeah. And what about your other books as well? What are they about? You've talked about your children's book. What other kind of books have you published yourself as well, or written?
Oh my goodness. I write poetry. I have 4 of those. I write sci-fi. I have 2 of those right now. I
Brilliant.
have a horror collection. I also have
Saw
4 paranormal romances.
Wow, God, I thought you were
And
busy.
yes, and
Yeah.
I'm currently working on 6 books right now. I work on more than one at a time, because that way if I get stuck, I can go do something else.
That's a great plan. That's really, really good, because some people have different strategies. So that's a really good plan, because you never really get stuck or blocked like that by having different projects on the go. So that's great, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can't stand writer's block.
No, no. And I can see you used to play in music, play in a band as well, Dorothy.
Yes, I
You
did.
kindly share that with me. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I love music as well.
In the
Yeah,
80s, around 1983,
yeah.
I had went camping with some friends.
Okay.
And one of my friends there, Bill, he started playing the guitar, and I started singing, and he stopped and he said, "You're joining my band." And that's how it all got started.
Yeah.
We did a lot of different songs. I did a lot of Stevie Nicks
Mm.
music, Linda Ronstadt. We went to different places to perform.
Mm.
We opened for Stevie Nicks, and it was just great. It was a real good experience.
Yeah, sounds brilliant. Yeah, you can't beat it, to playing with a band. It's really, really fun, isn't it? It's great fun. And who was your influences as well? And who kind of what kind of authors or what kind of books do you like reading yourself, Dorothy?
I actually, as an old author, a children's author, Carolyn Haywood, and I discovered her in the 6th grade, and I absolutely love her. I like Anne Rice, and I also like Stephen King. So, and Lindsay Sands, who is a paranormal writer.
Yeah. Yeah, and which is Stephen King is a great writer, isn't he? He really is. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah,
Yes, he is.
yeah, great stuff.
And I besides writing, I love to read,
Mm,
because reading really lets you expand your horizons,
yeah,
and it also helps inspire the writing.
it really does, because your imagination is so good. It's like I was only talking to someone the other day, like you watch a movie, and you're better off watching the movie first, because the book is so much better. It can be
Yes, it
so much
is.
better, because your imagination is so good, isn't it, Dorothy? When you
Yes.
Yeah, it's great stuff. And yes, and the way you're saying you've written horror and sci-fi. Did you ever think of trying to get a program or a TV series or something like that? Have you ever looked at that avenue?
I had thought about doing a screenplay, but
Mm,
I'm not quite sure how to go about it.
okay.
But I'll probably research it some more.
Hmm. Yeah, it's worth trying. We're checking out, because just because you've got so much good ideas there, so it's no harm in trying these things. Sure, it's not.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks a lot for coming on the podcast. It's great.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Yeah, brilliant. And yeah, so is there anything I haven't asked you you'd like to maybe tell the listeners as well about any projects you have working on yourself?
Well, like I said, I have 6 books right now.
Mm,
Well, actually, yeah, about 6. I'm working
yeah.
on Coffee, Cupcakes, and the Papillon Murder Mysteries, and it features my daughter and her little service dog Peppy, that's 16 years old. And they solve mysteries. And I'm working on 3 paranormal romances. The Amish Vampire Bride, Bloody Mardi Gras Kisses 3, and Bayou Vampire. And I'm working on the sequel to Renegades, which is my sci-fi, and it's called Sunshine and oh no, I can't think of his name. Anyhow, it's The Journey Continues with the third book.
That's great, Dorothy. Best of luck with all of them. It's great because I know my son loves all that kind of horror and sci-fi. So you'd have a fan there, Dorothy.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you'd have a
Yeah,
fan.
I actually, when my daughter was editing, I had written one that was so scary she couldn't read it.
Oh.
And she said, Mom, it's gonna give me nightmares.
Yeah.
And they're called Tales from the Dead, volumes 1 and 2. And the second volume actually has a story called Carrying the Dead.
Yeah, making me scared. Listen to it as well.
Yeah, it's quite scary.
Yeah, I know that's great. And as well as that, like your children's book, have you ever thought about maybe getting it narrated, like somebody to read it? Like, have you ever looked at that yourself? Because some people.
Oh yes, I have some really high ratings on Amazon for them.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
and I have my friends that read them for me and tell me what they think and what I might need to fix. And my granddaughter is a real good critic. So
yeah, kids are, yeah. Yeah, great. And I know just what I mean by that as well. You know, the way audiobooks are so popular now as well. Like, have you ever thought about making any of your books into audio format?
Yes, I've been researching that. That's my next step.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, so that's really cool. Thanks a lot, Dorothy, for coming on the podcast. It's been great talking to you.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah, and make sure you share your links so I can put them on the show notes for people to find. So thanks again, Dorothy. It's been great talking to you, and thanks everybody for tuning in today's podcast. It's been great. Dorothy, thank you. So stay tuned for Thursday. We'll get another podcast on. Thanks for listening. Take care. Thank you. Thanks, Dorothy.
You too. Thank you.